Alrighty, we are back. Um, so what ended up happening is that uh I had not tested the audio, which I usually do, but I was so bored that I didn't realize that for some reason everything was muted, and then it started to give me trouble with putting on the PNG tuber. And I checked in with my steer team. They were just like, "Nah, that's just a mundane technical issue. You're fine." Um, because not everything has to be magical. Um, but we are back, and we are back at 222, which is one of my favorite angel numbers because it means duality. It also means um community. It also means union as well with the self, with another person. But we're not going to talk about a union today. The main message that I had today was about a smear campaign, which is interesting actually. That I was going to talk about a smear campaign, and my audio went nope. But like I said, mundane before magic, and that was a pretty mundane issue, and I'm still going to talk about it. So Um, essentially though, I had pulled the cards. Your energy is gaining momentum. Um, have faith in your dreams. I really wish I had a camera to record the cards so you guys could see the cards as they're flying out or fall to the ground. So you guys could be able to see. But I cannot get a camera holder, the stand thingy. But when I do, I will definitely put it in my channel so you guys can see it better. But yes, 1 second, I'm gonna refresh my thing. There we go. Alrighty. Let's see if they give me. They usually will give me the same things anyway, because I will reshuffle and it'll come out a little bit differently, or it'll come out exactly the way that it. Oh. Yeah, see, one of the cards is the same. Alright. So, a personal issue reaches resolution. Full moon in Cancer. So, some of you guys could be. This mirror campaign could be by a family member. It could simply be disputes in the home, fighting, arguing, disagreeing. Because, honestly, issues don't necessarily always have to be violent. They can also be silent and can still be violent. Um, so there could be something regarding, yeah. Also, quick, because they gave me the same card. Oh, sorry, hold on. Give me 1 second. They just dropped the card on the floor. Alright. I used to not like it, but now I do. When they threw cards on the ground, because I can just tuck and pick it up. Alrighty. It's time to take action, and a win-win outcome is forecast. So, please don't take my readings as legal advice. That is a big, big disclaimer. Never take my readings as a tool to determine on whether or not you should make a really big life decision. And always take everything that I'm saying with a grain of salt, because you're allowed to make and practice and actually encourage that people have their own discernment in a situation, because the idea that I am always right is actually an idea that I dread. in this particular instance, I would like to say that there is a win-win outcome forecast. So, you guys could have stood your ground in a situation. You guys could have been like, hey, that's not how things happened. You are twisting the truth. You are twisting the evidence. You are twisting the facts. This is how things went down. Because, like stepping up for yourself and finding a peaceful resolution. Usually, you could be a Libra because I got full moon in Libra, full moon in Cancer, and new moon in Aries. You could be an Aries, you could be a Cancer, or you could be a Libra. Not necessarily, but Libras are known to handle things for the most part rather peacefully than not. So, usually, I don't want to generalize, but usually that's the energy that this gives me. Like justice and being soft spoken and being level headed in a situation, generally speaking. With a personal issue reaches resolution, and I'm also getting balanced spirituality and practicality. Some of you guys would need to really take a step back from spirituality for making decisions. And this goes for me too, because sometimes I be brain be working, especially if you're spiritual and you have abilities. Sometimes you may try to find solutions in the spiritual, when in reality, solutions like this require mundane solutions, like you know. Um, but with balanced spirituality and practicality, yes, lean into your spirituality for certain things, but also it's like that one card in the Starseed deck, which I will get in a while because they gave me that deck specifically. I heard it really clearly, the card, in the world but not of it. So, if you a witch and you got some disputes, you gotta learn to handle it the human way and be like, hey, I don't, that thing that you're claiming, so not true. And then like I'm hearing specifically receipts. Like if you have receipts, show the receipts. Like um the answers you need are see that the answers you need are coming. So, if you've been wondering on whether or not this situation will boil over, because as somebody that experienced that shit, it's awful. It's an awful thing to experience. I don't wish this pain and distraught on my worst enemy, and I don't even consider that I have enemies, honestly. And if I do, it's one-sided. Like I'm saying that right now, it's one-sided 100% because like I'll be mad at you for an extended period of time, but eventually I'm just like I I don't really like hate the person. I hate what you did, but I don't hate you as a person. So, um a lot of you guys could also have that same mindset actually of being like, hey, I don't hate you, but I hate what you did. So, have faith in your dreams. That card also popped up the first time that I shuffled. So, a lot of you guys could be getting intuitive confirmations, like you could be dreaming about this. You could be seeing this person in your dreams rather frequently. Um, or also, you could have somebody in the dream state helping you navigate through the situation amicably. Work through your fears. Another card that popped up. Yeah. So with new moon in Scorpio, have faith. No, not have faith in your dreams. Work through your fears. Actually, maybe you guys have been getting nightmares about this specific situation. maybe you guys have been getting kind of tormented by this situation, like mentally and in the dream state, kind of. I'm also picking up on dreams about getting chased, dreams about falling, those dreams that feel so real that they wake you up and you're like, what the fuck? That kind of vibe. Um, as always, take everything with a grain of salt. I feel like write down these dreams because these dreams are guiding you to know what to do or how to handle the situation if you know that they like if you have all the evidence that these dreams are concrete. Like they're not just emotional based dreams or PTSD dreams. I feel like that's important to emphasize. Like in your gut, like yes, this dream is like something telling me, like guiding me, that type of thing. Because sometimes dreams can be PTSD dreams and not necessarily accurate to what's going on in real life. So I think that distinction is very important because I already went through that and it is awful. But yeah, um, so yeah, some of you guys could be getting signs by your spirit team on how to handle this situation. For others of you, though, this could also be like divine justice playing out. Um, like, cause the thing I was picking up on, cause I was starting the video saying like, or the stream saying that I was bored and I just felt like going live, and then I asked for confirmation. Not that I needed permission, I just wanted confirmation on if or not I should go live because I am planning on going live later on and having like um the little jar with um ingredients for the abundance jar for abundance spell, sorry. So, oh my gosh. A jar of dirt might be significant. Like a jar of dirt. Some of you guys could have maybe, oh my god, maybe you put somebody in a jar of dirt. Always hex responsibly. My dudes, don't go hexing willy-nilly and just shooting out guns, okay? Like, I am all for hexing people that deserve it and people that are cruel and all that, but hex responsibly. Um, for some of you guys, that hex, if you did a jar of dirt, that is backfiring for some of you guys because you did not do it responsibly. But you'll know if it's for you. Like if it isn't for you, you're like, nah, I'm doing great. Then it's not for you. But like if you hex somebody and you used a jar of dirt, like graveyard dirt or just regular dirt, and stuff started to fall apart for you, it's because it backfired. I'm so sorry. I've had spells backfire mostly when I was beginning my practice, because like the thing about spells is you really have to have certain intentions set, and like I said, you can't go shooting guns willy nilly. You can't be doing that. There is like, I always like to say that magic is what you make of it, but it's kind of like let's say for example you were given a wand as a weapon, right? You're not just gonna go shooting the and hocus pocus everybody, right? No, you're not gonna want to attack innocent people, that have done nothing wrong, or you're not gonna want to just hex people for hexing. Like someone needs to hear that. Um, so surrender to the divine. Yeah, yeah. I feel like there is an aspect of divinity guiding you through this situation, especially if the smear campaign was really, really uncalled for. Oh no. Nah, I'm just gonna continue. It's fine. especially if the situation was very, very uncalled for, I would say, honestly, try to balance your mental state, balance yourself, because when it comes to smear campaigns and stuff like that, what people do is they try to get you out of character, try to get reactions out of you, and usually people will be like, "Oh, look, see how they're reacting? Yeah, yeah, that's how bad they are because they're reacting like that. Look at them and don't look at me," type thing, you know? And in my opinion, that is how you spot the problem because somebody that is grounded and rooted in who they are knows, right, that who they are and like I'm not gonna lie. There are certain cases where, like, if you're a victim, you actually lose your cool, right? And you're like, yo, but you don't seek out that person. You don't seek out that person. You don't keep stirring the pot, type thing. So definitely a message for somebody out there that needs to hear it. Um, I'm so sorry too because I went through a situation like this, and I can't imagine how it feels to go through this during Christmas. Like that has got to be very gut wrenching. I'm so sorry. I do wish people, whoever is going through this, the situation, whoever needs to hear this message, I wish you the very best of luck, and I wish you much wisdom and strength because it takes strength. It takes true strength to not be like, I here's like all the receipts, by the way, and just be like, like walk away from the conflict. Alrighty, what else, Spirit? Hold your vision. Fixed moon, yeah. With hold your vision, I really do think that this means like you're seeing things pretty clearly. You are like your intuition is correct. Like the guidance that you're receiving is correct. Um, the dreams insights that you've been getting are correct, and you just stay true to yourself, hold your stance, hold your beliefs, never allow for people to degrade you, and know that every action has an equal or opposite reaction. Like even if you don't believe in spirituality, even if you just believe in physics, I've said this over and over and over again. Like even if you just believe or in like science, like gravity exists. What goes up must come down eventually. There doesn't need to be a metaphysical reason to explain this specific ooh shit. Oh, sorry. I forget that I can't curse. Um, expect powerful change. All right. So, some of you guys I'm specifically hearing have been getting involved in prayer, like praying. Not I'm not talking about people that are praying for people's downfall unless that person is absolutely abhorrent. Then if you're praying for justice and for that situation to be handled, absolutely. Um, but I'm specifically somebody praying to the divine, when is this gonna be over? Like, please help me, please guide me, And again, my heart goes out to you because that is a very tough thing to experience, a very tough thing to deal with. I am incredibly grateful for the people that I had around me because they kept me sane, like quite literally actually. Um Especially because in my country we don't have many resources for like say like psych wards. And at the time my mom was out of town and she could not take me. Um like I said, I don't wish that on my worst enemy if I even had one, but I don't. But I don't wish that on anybody. I guess if I had a worst enemy, it would be capitalism because it inconveniences everybody that I love. Anyways, with adjustments are required, there's definitely going to be reparations for sure. Like either you're receiving them now or you're going to in the future for this huge like okay, trigger warning by the way, just letting everyone know. Um for some of you, this person could have spoken so many things about you that just like weren't true at all to who you are, to your character. Like they could have spoken ill on your name. They could have said things like I'm pew pew you or I'm gonna pew pew that person. They could have said things um but like publicly, slandered you, your character, drug you through the mud. Um, so a time for healing. Yes. Yep. Um, I feel like again, don't make my reading be the sole reason why you would seek legal action. But if you were to take legal action against this person, you would win because you have all the receipts for sure. Um, alrighty. Yeah. You and your loved ones are safe with new moon and Cancer. Again with the Cancer energy. Hmm. Maybe some of you guys also, this could be relating to family. Maybe you have family that has been doing this to you for years. Like doing smear campaigns and stuff like that. And maybe you finally got fed up or you gained specific knowledge and you were like, okay, actually, you need to stop. Um, I'm hearing specifically like if you have okay, because what is that? Malicious compliance? Is that no malicious compliance is when somebody is sabotaged, right? Like, right. So specifically for somebody out there, if you have to gather all the proof, if you get to a point where you have to gather all the proof, every screenshot, everything against this person, do it. Reason for it is because if the tables were turned, this person would have falsified information about you. 1000%. Again, only take this if you know that it's for you. If like your gut has been screaming at you and you've been like, yeah, no, yeah, this sounds like my situation. Don't take this lightly. Like, I'm not here to feed into delusions. I'm not here to get people to live in fear. I'm here to give confirmation because that's my entire like that's the thing that I do. I'm here to give people the confirmation that they've already had the nudge about. Like not like tiny things. This is more very serious actually. Okay. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Yeah. With full moon and Capricorn. Some of you guys could be Capricorns. Some of you guys could be. Some of you guys could have moon in Capricorns actually. Um, but yeah, if there's something that it doesn't sit right with you, if this has been something, that serious, um I would absolutely be like, "Hey, if you don't stop, the proof is in the pudding" type vibe. Alrighty. Well, I'm glad that this wasn't my December special because this topic is kind of heavy. But as always, please don't shoot the messenger. I am but a silly, silly messenger who is also shocked by the heaviness of this message, actually, because. Alright, what else? Have faith in your dreams. Again, emphasizing. This card popped out again. Jesus. Yeah, like, you've been being guided throughout the situation, like what to do, what not to do. And also, I'm hearing specifically redirect your anger towards people that do deserve it. Like, don't lash out at people who are trying to help you or have tried to help you. Redirect that anger, that fuel that you have into this particular thing with this person, place, or thing. It could be general, it doesn't have to be, but is what I'm getting, and is what's coming through. Time to give rather than take with New Moon and Virgo. There could be a Virgo involved in this. Doesn't have to be. It could be. No, I'm specifically getting Virgo. Actually, like, I didn't hear air signs or earth signs. Air signs. There could be an air sign involved in this, actually. Um, I'm an air sign personally. I'm a Gemini, so. And I did get the answers you need are coming with Full Moon and Gemini. Um, yeah. Ooh, a new romantic cycle begins. So for some of you guys, this could have been a lover of yours. For others of you, this could have been somebody that was gonna be a romantic interest or was a romantic interest at some point, and they messed up big time. Alrighty. Let's see. I feel like with the time to give rather than take, I feel like it's more of give more to yourself rather than giving your energy out to this other person. Because this other person is actually just, even if you wish for them to change, even if you're kind of, hello, sorry. Yeah, even if you want for them to change. Sorry, I spaced out for a second there. I don't know what happened. I think I had the download in my head and then it just kind of went no. But hold on, let me actually confirm with my spirit team if that was intentional or if that wasn't intentional. Even numbers are yes, odd numbers are no. No. So that was most likely interference. That's okay. That ain't gonna stop me. Nobody can stop me. If you know, you know. Anyways, you are good enough and work through your fears. Balance spirituality and practicality. Okay, so somebody out there, really, really needs to find balance within their spiritual practices and the mundane. Like, you need to realize that there are certain things that you can handle mundanely, and there are certain things that you can handle magically. Sorry, I burped. I keep burping, sorry. I guess confirmation? I don't know. It's silly how some readers say like they burp and they're like confirmation, confirmation. I I do say that sometimes, but I find it silly, like positive silly, by the way. But yeah, somebody out here, maybe you could be a Pisces. You don't have to be, but yeah, no, you need to ground a little bit. Um, with work through your fears, New Moon and Scorpio. So a lot of water sign is coming through in this reading. So you could be a water sign, you could be an earth sign, or you could be an air sign, right? Um, but I'm more so getting like you need to ground, you need to learn to discern what is your intuition and what are your intrusive thoughts. I struggled with that a lot when I was starting my practice, and actually that was a big reason why I couldn't pick up on things as well. I don't have that problem anymore because for one, I ground before I do my readings, I ground during my readings, and I also have a clear vision on what is reality and what isn't. So, especially like if you're mentally ill, you really need to look out for stuff like psychosis, especially in BPD. Psychosis in BPD is very real and very dangerous. Like it's something that you need to look out for. Usually, most often than not, people that go through psychosis won't know that they're going through psychosis until they look back on said impulsive actions that they've taken and they're like, holy crap, I was going through psychosis. So I highly recommend that you ground yourself, discern your surroundings, your environment, and be very careful. Especially with like um overwatching tarot readings. That is actually something I personally still struggle with, and I'm not afraid to say it because I have nothing to hide. Like I feel like hiding that would defeat the entire purpose of being authentic. Um, and you can see that whenever I put the readings in my intuitive confirmations folder. But the difference now is it's with readers I trust. It's not just with just any reader. And two, I vet for myself because vetting is a very real thing. Like, you have the power to be able to confirm certain information and be like, is this true? Yes. Is this true? No. Because here's the thing, um, confirmation bias is a thing in tarot and can be pretty dangerous, especially if you are misusing it with like wrong intentions. Like, are you seeking to help or are you seeking to harm? Because sometimes the person that you're reading for could be a little sneaky and be like, hey, let's give this person the complete different information to the thing that they're inquiring about, and then get themselves in a very uncomfortable position. I actually have a character um called Karma that has that concept currently. I will be posting it on my toy house after Christmas and the holidays and everything. If anyone is interested in seeing it, because I am also an artist and I will be publishing whenever I go live with my art comes or my art in general, because I also have my commissions open, but um I also want to draw and have examples and kind of have a little portfolio going, because I've been leaning more into doing art rather than doing tarot, and I think You know what? For somebody, you should focus on your art more than you're focusing on tarot. Or maybe it's giving the vibes of somebody that is kind of trying to get into tarot, trying to get into prophecy, but it's not really like it's not where your heart is. Like you are supposed to be like creating, be creative, express yourself through your art. Don't I mean, you can still engage in tarot, just you don't have to make it a career. I have it as a side hustle, but and maybe I should hear this too, like focus on my art and keep tarot as a side hustle. Don't focus so much on tarot. Don't focus so much on like the idea that you have to serve a greater purpose and everything like that. Because that is another spiritual ego thing that I have trouble with sometimes. Because it's like, oh, but I want to help. And then you get yourself in uncomfortable positions. Very uncomfortable positions, might I add. But yeah. Alrighty. What else do you want to say, Spirit? I think I'm gonna hop off in the hour mark. I don't want to be here for 2 hours, genuinely. But we'll see. We'll see what happens, because I always say I'm gonna be here for an hour, and then it turns into like this 2 hour, 3 hour reading, and I just keep getting. Luck is on your side. Alright. With New Moon in Sagittarius. So, if you are currently struggling to make ends meet, or you are currently with the whole, smear campaign situation, uh rest assured that luck is on your side. You have your morals, you have you have nothing to hide, and if people try and come at you with some sort of bullshit, you could just be like Uno reverse actually, and yeah. More air sign energy. You could be an air sign. You don't have to be. Mutable moon. I think Gemini is a mutable sign. I'm not sure. Hold on, let me check. I forgot. Because I know the cardinal sign. Yeah, Gemini. Freaking. See, that's how you know, because my intuition be knowing before I actually do. It's actually Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, which are signs that popped up because we have New Moon in Sagittarius, Mutable Moon, with nothing is yet set in stone. We got the Pisces, balance out your emotions, and we got Scorpio actually. Um, so hold on. Sorry, I'm adjusting on my chair because it is a little bit uncomfortable. So if you hear me sighing, that's why. Alrighty, there we go. Alrighty. So maybe the situation will be uncomfortable to deal with, Um, maybe the situation will be something that you'll have to step out of your comfort zone for. It's not something that you've normally done. It's not something that you've generally done. For some people, it's because you're like, but I don't have the the heart to do that. But like I said, like if they had the chance, I mean, they had the chance and they did a whole smear campaign. So like they had multiple chances. So it's like you, by standing up for yourself, by speaking your truth, by telling what actually happened, doesn't make you a villain. That doesn't make you a villain. What makes you, or what makes somebody an actual villain is doing horrible stuff in your face and behind your back. and having the nerve to say, to be like, I didn't do anything, type thing. Or not standing your ground, you know? Because I consider that when somebody has nothing to hide, they will have no problem with showing their hands. And those that hide their hands, that's a problem. Every single time. If you want to look at how uh, who the person in the situation who is, although I will say there are some nuances. I will say, because sometimes people are both in the wrong and sometimes it's neither in the wrong, and it's just a completely different outside um circumstance that's outside of both of the people's control. But in this specific situation, yeah, it seems like there's like, nothing is yet set in stone. It's time to release negativity. All right. Some of you guys could want to actually, maybe if you have transmutation words, actually, is that confirmation that my transmutation words are working? Hold on, let me check. I have to check real quick. Mans had to check their words. Yes, Mans had to check their words before continue. Yeah. Yes. Well, thank you. I put up transmutation words like and that I keep refreshing, and I recently did another one like I think I did this one. Hold on, let me look at the let me actually go in my chat logs and check, cuz I texted my partner about it cuz I put my partner in it cuz not going to lie, my partner was getting heavy evil eye. And so I was like, I'm not having that. You can take your little hating ass home where you belong and leave my partner alone. And maybe that's the same energy that you guys have. Maybe somebody's trying to get at your partner or trying to hurt your partner to spite you. Like it could be spiritually, it could be physically, but that's something that could be happening, you know? And and you're just like, "Nah, I'm not putting up with that." Especially for those that are very overprotective about your partners. I am overprotective about my partner. Um, so just know luck is on your side, and actually, for some of them, um, for some of you guys, because you've been so gracious about this, like so like because like you haven't been like name calling anybody, you haven't been being spiteful, you haven't been going tit for tat. That same energy that they were sending your way of like ridiculing you, treating you like crap, making you feel small, it's going back to them, and that's what caused like the whole thing to kind of fall apart, or will cause the thing to fall apart. If you guys are witchy and you have been like, should I do a return to sender? Do the return to sender. I'm telling you now. Please. And also, if you're worried about any cross watchers listening, if the bad energy is coming from them and they do the return to sender, it's gonna hit them instead. So don't worry about it. But yeah, I've had cases like that happen. It's funny. It's really funny. Okay, it's funny because why you hating and then complaining that you're getting hit with bad stuff. I think I think I said that in like my previous lives before I decided to go lighthearted on my streams and stuff. I think I said that, and I think like like somebody watched that and went like, what's the worst that can happen? Like and, and then they got hit. Okay, but yeah, Also, um, somebody IRL got hit by one of my words, and I was just like, okay, I need to be careful. So now I put tag logs on the the, the jars that I do because I don't want um because it's specifically somebody that I live with, and uh it sucked actually. Um, so yeah. For some of you guys, if you rely on somebody, or um if there's a certain person that is actively hindering your energy, and that person is your like, let's say, like your mother or your brother, and like you did something and that's hitting them, like I would consider putting tag locks and just setting up strong protections, because it depends. Like, I've heard, and I do stand by it, that when you do hexes or baneful work on family members while living in the same house, it does kind of affect you, because it'll affect them and by extension you. So you need to be very careful with tag locks and stuff. Okay, a fiery climax approaches. Yep. All right. So for some of you guys, you could be in the midst of this. You could be caught up in the eye of the storm. Maybe for some of you guys, a storm is significant. Um, storms and fire. I don't know why, but like specifically, maybe a firestorm. Like fire raining down on people. The end of a tough cycle approaches again, bro. I swear to God. Yeah, a time for healing, and you and your loved ones are safe. So I feel like if you are worried about a specific person being spiteful, vengeful, even, and that the people around you are going to kind of like be affected by this could affect them emotionally speaking, but I feel like for the most part, because obviously, like, we can't control how we feel regarding a situation, especially a situation that is highly elevated, in emotions. Um, Especially like if you have like personality disorders and stuff like that, adjustments are required. Yeah, I do feel like for somebody very, very specific, I do feel like you do kind of need to make the necessary steps to ensure that whatever this is doesn't affect your loved ones as much as it does. Because I kind of feel like your loved ones are, not to say that they're tired of you, but it could be that they are kind of like, why do I keep having to be caught in the crossfire? Oh, that could be the firestorm thing, like the crossfire. Oh my gosh, that's so genius. That's so cool. Yeah, but yeah. So, I feel like overall your loved ones are safe, and if you need to set strong boundaries throughout the situation, especially if somebody ropes somebody in that has nothing to do with the situation, feel free to be like, "Hey, fuck off," Like, don't rope in people that have nothing to do with the situation. I think it's different when you're trying to like give context to a situation rather than being like rather than doing something actively, harmful, like, say for example, hoovering, right? And being like a bridge, you know. So, righty. Oh yeah, somebody in this energy is really sick of being the middleman in this situation. Oh my god, fireworks just went off and it scared. Oh my god, wait, actually, what? Where wasn't I saying the thing about crossfires and then I heard fireworks go off? It's like this person's like, oh my god, it's like this person is like a ticking time bomb, it's kind of like that one SpongeBob meme where it's like, Mr. Krabs, I want to go to bed. I feel like that's the vibes that this person has because I feel like honestly, for some of you guys need to stop dragging your loved ones into your personal business. Like it's okay if you want to incur into with somebody else or you want not incur. But if it's okay if you want an opinion, like a second opinion from somebody, but the moment that you are involving somebody else directly in a situation, you are, even if unintentionally, you are putting them in danger, in the danger zone, because especially when dealing with somebody that isn't kind and is trigger warning abusive, we don't want to do that, right? Because we don't want them to be hurt or worse, So I would personally take a step back, reassess the situation in a healthy manner. Um, Still be a listening ear for that person specifically, but be like, hey, I'm not participating in this because I don't have all the information. And even if I did have the information, I don't know how I can personally do anything regarding the situation. All right. Yeah, for some of you guys, you could be a Virgo or a Pisces. All right. Or a Cancer. All right. Or you might be dealing with a Pisces, Cancer, or a Virgo. Or a Scorpio, because I got the fear card, which was Scorpio. So, alrighty. Alrighty, yeah. What else, Spirit? Nothing will come out of the situation. Alrighty. So, if you were expecting for a positive outcome from this, I can tell you for certainty that there will be a positive outcome. But if you were expecting, like, really terrible things to go down, you don't have to worry. Because, for one, you're being protected, as I said. And two, it says here the energy is gaining momentum, which it's like everything will unfold as it is meant to. And I don't know if you guys were here. For those that were here, look at the bigger picture. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Full moon in Sagittarius. So we got new moon in Sag, and then we got full moon in Sag. So for some of you guys, with the new moon and full moon, because new moon is like the beginning of phase. So maybe at the beginning of this situation, you did not in fact have the bigger picture. Like you did not in fact have like the full details regarding the situation. But as time went on, you kind of were able to piece two and two together. If not, that's what you are being asked to be able to do. Like look at the bigger picture. Um, like I said, redirect anger to those that are truly deserving of that anger, you know? Because that's also a conclusion that I had to come to, personally. Um, because I was like, am I mad at this person specifically, or am I mad at the situation? And then I went, no, I'm mad at the situation. Like, I hate the situation. I hate what you did, but I don't hate who you are. Alright. Bring love into. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay. Okay, just to be clear, this doesn't mean romantic love, I promise. This doesn't mean romantic love. This just means look at it from the lens of something that, like, how would you speak to yourself if you were going through the situation that this specific person put you through? Would you be gentle or would you be angry? I think I said that in a past reading, but I don't remember which one specifically it was. But they're reiterating it again, so yeah. Alrighty. I'm hearing the thank God, thank God, thank God. That one like remix. Thank God. Alright. Hands on deck. Oh my God. Oh my God. Bro. I love to. We love to see it. And if a double decker bus crashes into us. Alrighty. Take time to breathe out. Yeah, you need to chill. Um. Okay. Um. Sorry. That came off. That came off so bluntly. I'm sorry. Um. For those of you that are really, really going through it, my heart does go out to you. My heart does go out to you. And you trust your own instincts, trust your intuition. Oh my gosh, it's giving regrets. I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. That's my song. I like My Way by Frank Sinatra, but I like the Chase version because it is much more intense and it has all that emotion, you know. Um, so maybe you will resonate with this, where it's like you've done things your way and they end up like have ended up working out for you, and it has ended up being this like um thing that propels you forward, you know, because that's what how it was for me, especially with like shadow work. Oh my god, that song specifically, oh my god, the stutter, sorry, I got excited and I started stuttering. But um it's just that song specifically has literally saved me in so many different occasions because music is a big part of why I am able to heal as quick as I have, because I will imagine scenarios with the song, and it'll it'll be like a type like, cuz it'll be like immersive therapy of some kind, you know. And maybe that's what you need to do. Maybe you need to start visualizing. Oh, for somebody here, you may actually have aphantasia actually. And you know how I know that? Because they just flashed me the fucking I was seeing a lot and suddenly it just went pitch black. So somebody here may actually have, or if you watch my readings, you know, you're part of the collective, you may have avant uh aphantasia. Sorry, I'm not language is not my first English. Nice. See, clearly you can see that English is indeed not my first language. Um oh, you could like tongue twisters actually, and you get end up getting like, all riled up and end up being like, "Oh, I don't know what I was saying." Um oh my, that is foul. Yeah, somebody got to pay the piper. Somebody got to pay the piper. Somebody got to pay the piper. Or somebody's paying the piper right now as we speak. Okay, I feel like there is a specific group here actually that it's either you did something to somebody that wasn't really meant. It wasn't really meant to go. It's kind of. Did you, with the double decker bus, did you throw somebody under the bus over another person and then you ended up regretting it? Like, or is it that the other person did that to you and they ended up regretting it? Like, because I keep hearing like, and if a double decker bus crashes into us, so Um, if you threw away, like, if you threw somebody under the bus over another person and now you're regretting it, I would say, as somebody that did do that in my past, because I did do that, and I'm not hiding it because, and also, in 2024, actually, I threw somebody that was really genuine under the bus, and they are now my best friend. The homie. The homie ever. Um, if you threw somebody genuine under the bus over a person or place or thing or something superficial, it's gonna, some of what I'm gonna, some stuff that I'm gonna say is gonna sound tough. It's gonna sound a little bit hurtful. I hope that so I'm gonna try and soften it as much as I can. Or actually, you know what? You know what? I feel like I should just kind of just say it. I don't know why. Like I just feel like I just but I'm still gonna try and be a little gentle about it. If you heard somebody that was genuine, that had genuine intentions with you, chances are, if that person is genuine, uh, they, not that they will forgive you, because it is perfectly valid for people to not forgive. For people to know, like, decide on whether or not you are part of their lives, or whether or not they should be forgiven, or you should be forgiven. You know, like it's up to the person that deserves the forgiveness. But if you did, I think that the best way to make reparations, because I'm not gonna say amends, because it depends on the situation for everybody, but I don't usually like to encourage reconnection unless there is clear spoken boundaries and like acknowledgement on both parties on what went down and how to handle it. You know, usually I will not encourage reconnection, especially if it was somebody abusive, because there's a difference between somebody that is abusive and somebody that was genuine but fucked up. Um, so if it's the latter, you know, where like you did something, like you threw somebody under the bus and they were genuine, you, the best thing you can do for yourself is not be the version of yourself that allowed that to happen. And it's going to be a rocky ride. It's going to be hard to do. It's going to be hard to stand on the newfound morals and values. But I promise it'll be worth it, not for the other person, but for yourself. 100%. Um, Especially because personally, and I want to talk about like personal experiences where, say for example, I don't have the best parental relationship, unfortunately, and she is just the way she is, and there is no changing her mind because she herself told me that there is no way she's gonna change her stance. But it's, and how can I hold on. You at least, you are like, you're in the same realm of, I can't change you, but I can change myself in the way I look at this. Because you can't change people. You can only they can only change themselves if they want to. That's why I posted the the quote on my post, because I was like, I don't know why, but this kind of resonates. And so I reposted it from another tarot channel, which I do recommend. They have pretty good stuff. The only downside is that I don't like that they just throw around narcissists like it's a buzzword. That's the only downside. I would be like toxic people. Um, but other than that, because not everybody's a narcissist. Like, I'm just letting people know, like, that is a mistake that I made actually, because I would be very wary of everybody that had NPD, and even when stuff transpired early in May, I was freaking out because I was like, oh my god. Uh, and luckily, I am grateful for the friends that I have because they will say shit like it is, and they'll be like, "Boo boo, sad that I hurt your feelings. You had to hear that," and they'll hold me accountable, and I appreciate that really, really, like, strongly. And if you are a friend that is contemplating or struggling with like, well, what if they get sad and I get like this negative reaction out of them? You can't control the reactions that other people do because of something that you said with good intent. And you can't control how they perceive it either. That's the thing. You cannot. You simply cannot. I tried to do that. It did not help. It actually made things worse by trying to explain everything, by trying to talk about things. Um, but I don't really fault the other party entirely because we weren't in contact. So there was no way to know the tone in which certain things were said, and yeah, but yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. But um and also like I'm using my past experiences to deliver this specific message because I resonate with it. Um, and I feel like if you are in the same situation that I was, you will definitely benefit from. And you don't have to follow everything that I'm saying at all. Like, always take it with a grain of salt. I'm just channeling what is coming out and what needs to be said or heard or how to say it, you know? And I feel like there's this rhetoric that spiritual people have to be love and light, or spiritual people have to always, like, be soft spoken and be um and like tolerated, or not put their foot down and not react a certain way or not be angry. And not gonna lie, I did fall into that um months prior. I did fall into that because I was like, if I show that I am uh, a pushover, it's it's going to suck, but it'll make the situation even worse. So I was kind of at a stalemate actually. Um but here's the thing, when you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to lose. So if somebody out there needs to hear that, when you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to lose. But if you do have something to hide, then I would suggest being honest and transparent about it, and being as honest as you could possibly be about it. Because somebody that puts in the work to be better and do better and improve themselves is a lot more admirable than somebody that is sneaky and hides and does things, you know, without fear of consequence or remorse. Because you know something? Also, there are things that I am remorseful about because I often think, like, had I not lost my cool and I just didn't do anything, I just stayed quiet, none of that thing would have transpired. None of that thing would have bitten me in the ass, you know? But there's another part of me that is grateful that I talked about it and I opened up about it because um I would have remained with this optimistic, hopeful kind of vibe in regards to fixing the situation. And I feel like that's kind of also the stance where you're at. Remaining like not like you want to remain hopeful and optimistic, but I feel like this person has shown you time and time again that this person isn't capable of change because the thing is words without change is just manipulation. Like, and I'm not talking about like oh you are going to like I'm going to tell you hey this action is hurting me and I want you to write me 100 essays on why you shouldn't do it or but like it you should just be like hey this is hurting me and I would like for it to stop and it should stop. Like you shouldn't have to repeat yourself more than once for a person to not treat you poorly, you know? Um, when it comes to things like smear campaigns and 111 on the timer as we speak, maybe that's your favorite number. Maybe 1111 is your favorite number. Maybe your favorite number is 333 because we're almost nearing 333 actually. That's crazy. I was looking at the time that I've been streaming for, so. Also, uh, 1 plus 3 is 4, so I get like new beginnings after a time of conflict, new beginnings after a time of um new beginnings after a thing that you did not deserve to go through because for some of you guys, I'm even specifically picking up. Actually, let me shuffle just in case. I'm specifically picking up that people are acknowledging that you did not deserve what you went through. You did not deserve um the all the like hatred, betrayal. Because for some of you guys, it could have been betrayal that was like thrown your way. Yeah, like, especially with like all the fire emotions. Don't let pride get in the way. I feel like somebody was very prideful and very spiteful. Um, it's almost like whatever you said triggered this person's ego and it caused them to spiral. Like you could have said something to this person, you could have spoken something that they like needed to hear. Actually, you could have done that in their dreams cuz oh sorry, a bottle. Bottle. Oh my god. For some of you guys, something about kissing like spin the bottle, kissing is relevant, may not be. Sorry, that was a ginger ale bottle that I was drinking and I tipped it over, but it's empty, so it's fine. Oh my god, Ship in a Bottle is coming through. That's a song that I use to cope and stuff. What I usually take from Ship in a Bottle is even though it might seem like you're alone, you're not truly alone, and you set sail alone, there is no crew, no one on the deck who can help you. This is your own ship, you are the captain. Let's make a deal. Now we both say the things that we both really feel. Oh my god! That's crazy. Yeah. For some of you guys, either they're gonna regret or they already actively regret making you go through that. Um and they could be very apologetic, but like I said, oh my god, my ears started ringing. Holy crap. The synchronicities in this reading is crazy. Um, like I said, you will know if something is really for you. I don't advise, especially if it's somebody that you like, it's a whole pattern of them treating you. I am not encouraging that at all. Expect powerful change with new moon eclipse. Alrighty. What do you need to release? Yeah, like what for some of you guys it could be like the release of files, the release of a document. Oh my god, no. I'm not talking about that. No no no. No no no. No no no. We don't talk about politics in this channel. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But if you know, you know. Um, believe in the impossible. Meditate and contemplate. So, even like what is something right now that you're currently really struggling that you think it's not actually going to come to fruition or it's not actually going to come to pass, like, and I'm not talking about reconnection with a very toxic person. I want to make that incredibly clear because unfortunately I've been a victim to tarot readings that say like, oh, they're coming back, they're your soulmate, they're this, they're that, and they ended up being like the worst person in the entire world. Like, your gut will tell you who this person is, and if whether or not, maybe for some of you guys it's not really like a physical or like an like actually reconnecting with them, but it's actually like you, like I said, you could have dreamed about this person and this person could have talked to you in your dreams regarding this situation with meditate and contemplate, and you just kind of went, huh, type thing. All right. What else? Emotions are running. Yeah. Okay. Emotion conclusions are within reach. Your hard work is paying off in reverse. Okay. So I normally don't do reversals, but for somebody out there, you need to be putting in the work for um you need to be putting in the work for to make sure that whatever conclusion this is, it actually does happen. Because, and if you're a Capricorn, I'm calling you out right now. Full moon eclipse, Capricorn. For some of you, you could play Dandy's World actually. My favorite character is Eclipse. So, or Eclipse, Eclipse. Yeah, Eclipse. But um, your favorite character could be Eclipse. One of my favorites is Eclipse. My first one is Astro. I love Astro. Uh, more emphasis on dream walking and stuff like that because um that character specifically, he dream walks and gives people nice dreams and tries to help. Wait a second. Okay, I just realized something, but that's personal for me actually. But what's gonna well, I kind of already know the outcome of this situation because it's saying like nothing will come out of the situation, meaning that it won't be something incredibly bad, or bad even, like, and especially with like your loved ones are safe, you don't have to worry. And with the smear campaign situation, if you have the means to defend yourself, um, financially, I would do that. Especially if like you know that you're not in the wrong. Like you know that you know for certain that you have proof, you have cats, you have um recordings for some of you guys, you know. Yeah. Alrighty. But as always, do not take this as the end all be all, please. Thank you. A new start is coming. Alright, that's perfect. It goes perfectly with the message that I was giving earlier with like how alright. Emotions surrender to the divine. Okay, full moon. Alright. So again, with the energy of new moon and full moon. So it's like then and now. Or then the beginning and end. Beginning and end. And surrender to the divine is usually talks a lot about certain things that are outside of your control that you're not aware of, certain forces that are outside of your control that you're not aware of. Sorry. Um certain forces that are outside of your control and certain things that are playing out outside of your control. And especially because I'm not getting like a romantic thing unless it like truly does resonate for some of you. Please don't delude yourselves into thinking that it's somebody that wants nothing to do with you and it because that creates limerence and that's really unhealthy. And even if that person, even if their energy was like, yeah, um is it fair to you really? Because um they're not saying anything or doing anything in the physical to make the changes necessary. So why would you torture yourself like that, you know? Why would you put yourself through the ringer like that? Like that's such a big disservice to you. Alrighty. Alrighty. So I think this is more of like a new start like in your life, especially with the new year energy. There might be a significant eclipse maybe this is like in a year, maybe it is in 2 years, because all my readings are timeless. I'm letting y'all know right now, my readings do not have a time limit. You could literally, because tarot is so fluid and the way I do my messages is so fluid, you could literally be experiencing a eclipse in 2028, 2027, and it could still apply to you because tarot and time is really wacky. Like time doesn't exist. It's a human concept that we made to basically be able to measure how much we did in one day. That's literally the purpose of time. Like actually, uh, well, one of the things that time does actually. That is sorry. That's so funny. One of my friends higher self was like, "That is absurd," and like I was just like, "Oh, that's another thing. You could have the higher self of somebody, like a friend of yours, in your dreams, giving you insight, giving you information, and warning you about certain things that are gonna transpire. Maybe they're protecting you too." And it's funny because for some of you guys are so angry with this person, and this person's in the astral. Like, bro, I'm like chilling in Cedar Rapids. Oh my God, is that what happened? I might have to ask him later. Well, I mean, I don't think that's what actually. That's something like personal to me and a friend. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to give like a not vague, because I have a tendency to be like, oh, vague, and oh my God, that is something I laugh about now actually, because I wanted this to be very vague, but I think what happened is I wanted to say vague, but like as in like not containing personal information or like not personal information, but like names and stuff like that or like who was involved in what. But I ended up like being like very detailed, and I think I should have been like, yeah, no, this is gonna be detailed in the sense where, yeah, um, that is like, and I'm laughing at myself because what more can I do? And also, I think I've reached a point where that stuff no longer affects me like it used to. So now I can look back and be like, huh. Not at the other person, by the way, because I wouldn't do that to them, even though they were very. Ugh, but I still wouldn't do that. Because why would you laugh at somebody's struggle like that? Like, at their expense, too, you know? But yeah. Unless it's like somebody really, really bad, like a, like abusive, where it's like they did really, because, you know. Alright, it's time to take action. Yeah. So, what steps are you taking with full moon in Aries? Oh, no, sorry, not full moon in Aries. New moon in Aries. Oh, for some of you guys, you could be in Aries and you could be excited about the New Year's because you could have something set in motion. Some things like, for example, um, maybe you are working on a project. Maybe you are working. Oh, I'm seeing like, is somebody like painting their house on January or like in the New Year's? To be like, the new house, new me, where you're like painting. Oh my gosh, I think this reading might have to be 2 hours. I'm not. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about because I'm always fucking rambling. I'm so grateful for those of you that like watch the entirety of my readings and those of you that decide to stick around for the entirety of my readings and just have them like play in the background because I be saying stuff for so long. um, I'm gonna try to make 30-minute videos, but I don't know if I can because I love rambling and I love giving as much information as I can because it helps you guys and it helps, people heal and stuff like that. So, um, for some of you guys, you could be wanting to paint your house, wanting to redecorate your house. For some of you guys, Animal Crossing might be significant. Maybe you have considered buying Animal Crossing and playing it. Animal Crossing is very therapeutic. I recommend it. Um, Maybe for others of you, you have considered um refurbishing your couches, or all of the above, you could be doing all of those things. Um, Also maybe new plush, new plush, because I saw the couch and then I saw the little plushie. It could be like something moon related. It could be something that is fan made. Um, oh my God, that's for me. Wait, that's for me. Okay. Actually, that's funny. I was gonna get myself a plushie from the characters that I mentioned earlier. So, yeah. I think that's confirmation. Care Bears might also be significant since I'm getting a Care Bear and I'm really excited and I will definitely post it on my channel because I want people to see the Care Bear. If not on my channel, I will post it on my Blue Sky. Also, please ignore the because on my Blue Sky I post a lot of stuff. I post stuff about politics. I post stuff about like the environment. I post stuff about like social justice, um like standing up for the rights of people, um, stuff like that. And every now and then, I will post like something emotional related because I'll be like, this really pisses me off, and then but I will post the plushie when I get it, when it is in my possession, because I do kind of have to wait for it to be in my possession because shipping and everything. But I will definitely post it. Um, I think I'll leave it secret to so that it's more of a reveal. But I think if you know my aesthetic and if you know me, you'll know what kind of Care Bear I'm getting. So, um, but yeah. Oh wait, actually, I just remembered. Okay, actually, Apollo may be significant for some of you guys because my idea was that I would get a plushie, a sunshine plushie, for one of my headmates, and then Apollo was kind of like, "Hey," and then I was like, "Oh, alrighty, alrighty." Well, but yeah, all right. Is there anything else, Spirit? Sorry, I kind of rambled about random topics. I feel like sometimes I should have like a non-tarot platform because I definitely have something to say during live streams because I talk to myself all the time. Like, and sometimes I feel like I'm not just talking to myself. I feel like there's like listening. Communication is key. You say that as I'm rambling. You say that as I am going off about a specific topic and I'm just, oh my god, yeah. But anyways, yeah, you're gonna get confirmation. You're gonna get communication regarding a certain issue. You're gonna get some type of. You're basically gonna be like. You're basically gonna be like, oh my gosh, you know, like I've been new. Um. All right. What else? Also, I love how I said mini holiday stream, and it ended up being an hour and a half. Actually, you know what? I might actually end the live in an hour and 35 minutes rather than 2 hours because I kind of do want this to be a mini holiday stream, and it kind of defeats the purpose of being mini when it is over an hour. So I'll probably change the name anyways. Okay, all right. Your dreams need a practical plan with Full Moon and Taurus. Okay. So for some of you guys, this person could be a literal Taurus, or it could just be the energy of the like a Taurus. Like they. I feel like I'm not gonna lie. I feel like somebody's cooking up something like a plan, but and I'm not getting like malicious vibes, but I am definitely getting like something like okay, well, like it's something positive for sure, especially for this year, 2020. What? 26? Oh yeah, 2026. Isn't that so weird? We're stepping into a 10-year, I think. Oh yes, we're stepping into a 10th year. Some people say like there's only up to 9, but I believe that there's up to 10. Some people also say that it is up until 11. And it could because usually even if you condense the numbers, the energy is pretty much the same, and spirituality is all about duality, and that usually ends up being a pretty spiritual loaded year. So do stay tuned actually, by the way, for the real holiday stream that I'm going to be doing where I'm going to be putting people's names in a jar. Um, or like people's initials even, like if you don't feel comfortable telling me your name, if you don't feel comfortable, um you could tell me like, oh, my initials are BF, and maybe your initials are BF, and this is or BF. Oh my god. Or BF. Oh my gosh. Okay, you could have an RBF, but yeah. Or maybe would be about a partner or something. Well, take whatever resonates, you know? Alright. Alrighty then. I would just say that those that wish to stop by, because I do know that I made this live stream very long at a very inconvenient time, and I will be taking a nap so I can be ready for the actual stream later. Alrighty.